Bring your ugly ass on. That's right. What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy live and direct. Absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. So I'm here live and direct in full effect with my boy out the 662. Y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping, Mr. Craig Smith II?
Man, not much, man. Not much. We got, ladies and gentlemen, we got a loaded show, and probably on the programmer's note for tomorrow, we will be doing a show, but we won't be talking about sport topics or none of that. And that's why I said, hope Jimmy J got his AAA triple plus game for this one. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 days from now would have been Craig Smith Sr.'s 67th birthday. So what we're going to do tomorrow is going to be a show with what we can fit in on some things about what type of man that Craig Smith Sr. was. And Jimmy J he's going to be coming with the questions. No, on a lot of things. And as I tell you guys about how he was as a man, with his upbringing. And it's going to be little life lessons in there to some of you fathers out there that on things about what you need to do with your sons or your daughters and not need. Matter of fact, mainly what I talk about with how I was brought up around him. There's going to be some lessons in there. It's in regards to for you fathers and what to do and what not to do with your children. I ain't gonna be preaching about how I can't tell you how to raise your kids, but there's gonna be some pointers in there about what not to do. Don't follow the same examples as your fathers did to y'all. Be your own. Be your own parent, be your own brand on that. So hopefully Jimmy can being funny on that, can come up with some good questions and stuff like that, because he's got some notes prepared. And the reason why I say this, because I would have done this on Facebook Live. But when we last did Let's Draw on Something on Facebook Live, Let's Draw on Something else for Facebook Live, we was talking about Pops and his work group, what it was like. There was a lot of issues going on. There was a lot of issues going on with that. So, and a lot of people felt that a lot of stuff was force-fed, that Jimmy wasn't ready, connection issues. And then I received some private backlash from that about this and about that, which prompts me to say this. If I'm going to go on Facebook Live, it'll be for me, like with me drawing and stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. I'm not, with the Let's Draw on Something more, there won't be any more of that. So, hey, it's not the fault of us. I mean, like I said, it's a four-way. With all that happened on that episode, it was a four-way street. And then there was a post by a buddy of mine where she said something about don't be trying to recruit others to dislike the people you don't like. I didn't appreciate that shit. So, and then that kind of killed it right. That kind of killed that right there. So, there won't be any more Let's Draw on Something more on Facebook, but I'll continue to do my lives, like me drawing on Facebook, or now since YouTube has gotten with the shit with this live stream policy, it's gonna be pretty scarce. So now I'm gonna have to record videos and put them on and stuff. So, but it is what it is on that. But like we said, we got a loaded show today, NBA playoff talk, and a whole bunch of other things. But before we get started on the main thing here, matter of fact, let's get started, because I wants to talk about it. If anybody joins in the chat room, we thank you for joining us. I want to talk about this fuck shit that the Lakers is doing, man. The Lakers Showtime show has become the Lakers shit show.
Agreed.
And Jeannie Buss. And I'm going to compare Jeannie Buss to one person that's far off out. Vince McMahon. Okay. They offered Tyronn Lue a 3-year contract, which is a fucking insult to a guy like Tyronn Lue. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. And then turn around, you're going to put in a clause by saying we get to pick the coaches you need to have. No, you don't. No, you don't. And then one of the coaches had to be Kurt Rambis. Okay. Kurt Rambis is not a good head coach his damn self. You want to know what his record was for 2 seasons with the Timberwolves? 32 and 132. 32 wins, 132 losses.
Suck ass. That's what it was.
And
let's
just keep it 1,010. So this is really a shit show, and I really have voiced my opinions about LeBron. I don't like him as a player, but the LeBron as a man, as far as his outside NBA endeavors, I respect him on that. He needs to get if they don't get a decent coach soon, in which
go ahead.
Huh?
What the? No, I was having an afterthought, bro. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Spit talk your shit.
Yeah. So, and then these fools talking about firing. They might as well hire a fireman if they do. Frank Vogel to be the next coach and Jason Kidd as an assistant. First of all, I would rather have Jason Kidd, even though, as my boy Corey Wolf said, that Jason Kidd is a well-renowned snake, which he is as far as coaching goes. Lakers would be better off just having Jason Kidd as the head coach than have Frank Vogel. I mean, because I expressed my opinion on the Sport Talk group about how I felt about how Frank Vogel was as a coach. Anytime you're going to fucking laugh about the fact that your team almost gave up a 3-0 lead, a 3-0 lead against the Atlanta Hawks, you get your ass blown out in 3 games, and then in the 6th game, you trail by 30 points, come back. No, what was it? They trailed by as many as 30 points. Hold up. They trailed by as many as 30 points in the 2014 Eastern Conference first round against Atlanta. And then come back, take a 10-point lead on their ass, and then you lose by fucking 25. What kind of coaching that is? And then he gonna say this, and I quote, well, everybody was obviously they were mad about us, how we was playing against Atlanta. That's nothing to get fucking mad laughing and laughed at about, Andy. And yeah, I'm glad Larry Bird let his ass go. And then plus, they screwed the pooch against LeBron because they had a damn good fucking team. Paul George, Roy Hibbert, George Hill, David West, Jeff Teague, when he was there. They had a loaded ass team, man. You mean and a deeper bench than Miami. And you mean to tell me they could not beat LeBron? So Frank Vogel does not need to be coaching. No, if anything, Frank Vogel need to be Jason Kidd's assistant. Period. He don't need to coach. He don't need to be the other way around. And if I were Frank Vogel, and matter of fact, and if I were both of them, I would tell them, no, y'all don't get to pick the staff. I do. Jason, and knowing Jason Kidd, despite him being the snake he is, he need to put that venom on Jeannie Buss. Because, I mean, come on, the Lakers have basically become the WWE shit show of the NBA. And this is a travesty. And I thought the Knicks was a shit show. And you also got to think of the fact when Phil Jackson went over there to run the Knicks, any coach he hired, it's a must they run the triangle. No exceptions. And he gets to pick the staff for him to run the triangle. That's why Jeff Hornacek couldn't do what he needed to do. Because, I mean, Hornacek had a couple damn good years at Phoenix, man. You know, and yeah, he was more about defense, but Phoenix had a damn good offense too. But then when he got to New York, yeah, they had the defense, but Hornacek publicly stated, I'm not used to running a triangle offense. Period. But Phil told me it's a must. If I'm running things, you got to run what I tell you. So when you think about it, it's all interconnected because Phil pumping the goods and Jeannie and all the other shit. And then you really have to believe about the fact that Kurt Rambis' wife is a shadow owner, because come on now, why all of a sudden Kurt Rambis' name is being thrown in by having to be the mix and demanding to be the associate head coach along with Tyronn Lue for his staff. Come on now.
In that situation, Scott Vogel in the first
Frank,
LeBron Frank Vogel, um, in the first LeBron series, they had a chance to beat them, especially in Game 6 and Game 5. They had a chance to beat them, but they chose to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, with Scott Vogel, one of the
Frank,
downsides in that Frank, one of the downsides of Frank Vogel is the reason why they lost to the Miami Heat in both situations is their 3-point shooting couldn't keep up with the Miami Heat. That was one of the downsides. They had good enough shooting against everybody else, but Frank didn't necessarily have great perimeter shooting to beat the Miami Heat. And if you notice, the common denominator against LeBron-led teams is if you're able to knock down threes against LeBron-led teams, and I don't understand why, because San Antonio was able to do it, Golden State, of course, without saying, in Dallas. If you're able to knock down threes against a LeBron-led team, you can beat them easily. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what is it about LeBron-led teams that happens like that. I guess it's the system that the style of play that LeBron tried to do, the up-tempo style, you know what I'm saying? The hit or miss style, but they did not have good enough perimeter shooting or did not have a system in place to compete with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Now they did they did have a chance to beat him without all of that, but you know what I'm saying? I felt like that was one of the factors that led to Indiana not being able to get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? But Frank, I don't know about this hire. Jeannie is making some fucked up moves, and I kind of see why Mr. Magic had left at this point. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that. Magic didn't want to fuck up the chemistry with the Bus family because he's close to pretty much all the Bus children. You know what I'm saying? Even though they had some fuckery going on between the siblings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Really, what the fuckery was about was the fact Jeannie didn't like Jeannie's brother. Well, what it was, Jeannie's brother had did what their father had told him not to do. He did it anyway. When he hired Mitch Kupchak to run the GM position, because Jerry Buss had a guy in mind for that. But yeah, he wanted to get Mitch Kupchak for that shit, and that really Jeannie felt that was like, you went behind our back and you stabbed us in the back. You didn't do what I thought. You didn't do what Pops told you to do. He told you not to hire this guy, and you did it anyway.
Yeah, and not just that, they had to go to court in order for Jeannie to be ruled as the owner. Even though the brother got compensation for it, they had to go. It got so nasty they had to go to court, and the California court ruled her as the owner. What a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he did get compensated, which that was a good thing. I think the judge did the right thing in that situation. But Jeannie Buss is not making good business decisions. But one thing about business is, I should say, business is trial and error.
Right.
And one thing about businessmen, especially the LA Lakers fan base, LA Lakers fan base is gonna get on her helmet because from what I understand, the fan base is actually, word around the street, they're talking about they need to get rid of LeBron James. From what I understand, she need to trade LeBron James. I don't think you want to make that decision at this point.
No,
I don't think you want to make that if that's true. But go ahead, brother Craig.
No, I don't think that this is what you need to do. You need to hire. This is what you really need to do before the Grizzlies can go ahead and which I think the Grizzlies need to get Tyronn Lue up, because these motherfuckers talking about they interested in what's his name, Jason or Gerald Collins from the Golden State Warriors to be the coach. No, you need somebody with experience. You need somebody that can basically put up with hot dogs on the team and everything else. And Tyronn Lue is a good fit for the Grizzlies. And that's going to be another subject another time. They don't need to trade LeBron. They just need, like I said, they need to either, this is what they need to do. They either need to start up negotiations with Tyronn Lue. Don't pull no little undercover fuck shit by saying that we still want you to hire who we want you to hire. No. If you're going to hire this guy to be the head coach, okay? If you're going to hire this guy to be the head coach, he has a right to pick his staff. Okay? When Dan Gilbert took over the Cavaliers, he let Mike Brown hire the staff he wanted. But then he turned around, and then I don't know how many years Mike Brown was there, but Mike Brown won. I think he was the first coach to win Coach of the Year in back-to-back seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, in back-to-back seasons, and then you're gonna turn around and fire him because you admit, I fired Mike Brown to appease LeBron. And Mike Brown was never the issue, and LeBron said that. Mike Brown was never the issue. All along there was Dan Gilbert, and I still think Dan Gilbert is an issue anyway, because you know he wants to run the team. You can't be an owner and then name yourself executive vice president of basketball operations. Come on now.
I agree. Because sometimes it's just good for other people to step in and manage the team like they should, like it should be managed, I should say. So right. It is what it is when it comes to that particular topic, man. Right. Let me jump on this topic. Of course, Golden State is in the conference finals. I actually spoke my piece on that shit, and everything that happened to Houston. I've said this on the show. If they didn't do everything I said they needed to do, get Capella involved consistently. Chris Paul don't have 10 assists. And they don't develop a balanced attack to go up to supplement all that 3-point shooting that they had, they were going to lose. And that's exactly what happened. You know, against anybody else, I think the Houston Rockets would probably be in the NBA Finals, hands down. Mm-hmm. But the problem with the Houston Rockets is Golden State is experience, and again, they're tethers of one another in terms of perimeter shooting. And the thing is, they dropped more bombs on these hoes than Germany dropped on London in 1939. That's how many bombs they dropped on them hoes. But they still lost. You know what I'm saying? So what's your take on this particular conference final? I mean, this particular matchup that ended up becoming victorious for the Golden State Warriors?
I told you so.
But it went further. It went further than you thought it did, though. That's one thing.
I told you so.
But here's the crazy. Go ahead.
But like you said, Fertitta's gonna have to get rid of. He's gonna have to do some house cleaning. Daryl Morley too. Daryl Morley, the GM, I think, and from what I hear about Daryl Morley, he don't play about a lot of shit either. So I think it's gonna be some house cleaning off season up in that Rockets organization.
Oh yeah, and what I said on the off the air, I think Chris Paul could possibly be playing his last season. You know what I'm saying? And if he don't get rid of him next year or year after, I don't think he's going to fulfill that entire contract. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No,
he could either retire or he's probably going to get traded at some point. So don't be surprised. Go back to this show at this particular time slot. I don't know what particular time slot because we've been on for a pretty decent long time. But don't be surprised if Chris Paul is gone, Eric Gordon is gone, and
I'll keep Eric Gordon, man. I'll keep Eric Gordon.
But I'm telling you how Fertitta's get down is based on his business record and all that. If Fertitta feel like you screwing him and getting free money up out of him, he's going to get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is Capella could be gone, Gordon could be gone, Paul could be gone. But I'm saying if Fertitta makes these moves, I would consider getting Trae Young, getting a John Wall, getting a DeAndre Fox, somebody that's a natural point guard that has the ability to shoot the three ball. You know what I'm saying? And somebody that also have the ability to drive the basket. I think they need to keep Austin Rivers in Houston. I think their bench is pretty much fine. Nene is probably at the end of his career, so I think you probably need a good bench player to.
Hey, you went offline from it, Jimmy.
Compliment to. I could see some changes in there. I would go after. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't know what's going on here. This fucking really. Yeah, but I was saying you were saying about something about Nene, and then you had just blinked out.
Okay, but Nene, I think that Nene is at the end, so they could possibly they need some bench players as well. Another thing D'Antoni need to do, he need to play all 10 players. He need to have a 10 player rotation as well. That's another thing.
D'Antoni need to get with the times.
Not just that. There was quite a few mistakes he made throughout the playoffs. But if I was the Rockets, I would go after Karl Anthony Towns.
Most definitely.
I could see that. I could definitely see that because he's a better offensive player than Capella. Capella is a plastic player, and he plays basically off of Chris Paul and James Harden assists.
Yep.
So I mean, it wouldn't hurt for you to get a real center, a good inside scorer to complement all those 3-point shots, because when you shoot those many 3-point shots, just like inside scoring, you have to have a balance of good outside shooting when it comes to inside scoring. Same thing with good perimeter shooting. When your shots aren't falling, you need somebody to get easy baskets when you're in a drought, and that wasn't happening yesterday. They got into a 2-minute drought, and light-skinned John B. Someone to Love. Don't do what people say, whatever the fuck that song is. Shot they goddamn lights out. And
hell yeah.
Are you still down? Tupac, Klay Thompson looking at him, boy. You know what I'm saying? He shot their lights out. And that's one thing about them light-skinned niggas, as my boy Aaron Chappelle would say, man. Them light-skinned, you cannot leave them light-skinned niggas open. And then here's a goddamn another thing with D'Antoni's stupid motherfucking ass. Why the fuck you let Steph Curry go one-on-one and shoot this boy's lights out like that? If I'm a coach, if I'm a fucking coach, I would have double teamed every time them light-skinned nigga, box head ass Stephen Curry and goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Don't listen to what people say looking ass Klay Thompson. Every time they got the ball in a one-on-one situation, I would have double teamed that hoe. And if I lose because of box head ass, African looking ass, goddamn Draymond Green hit the game winning shot, I will take that L before I take an L because of Stephen Curry shot my goddamn lights out. I'm not taking no L. I'm not taking no L like that. I'm finna make them pass the ball and make other people make key shots up in this hole. That's the goddamn problem. That was the goddamn problem. He did not make adjustments defensively in certain situations. And the thing is, they barely lost these games. This Golden State beat the Houston Rockets by a total of 20 points. Every team in this series rolled out by 20 at some point during the playoffs. But the Houston Rockets have only lost to the Golden State Warriors by 20 points. So, and I think Tillman Fertitta, you know what I'm saying, sees that his team can win because they barely lost. Yes, it ended in game 6, but it's no different than the Grizzlies series pretty much outside of game 1 when they played the San Antonio Spurs. Those games were determined by 5 points and less. So when you see your team has the potential to go to the next level and you're playing against the best team in the NBA, which is the Golden State Warriors, fuck Milwaukee right now, because Milwaukee is just the number 1 overall seed. But the Golden State Warriors are the defending champions. In order to be the champions, you have to beat the champions. So in this particular, I think Tillman Fertitta sees what's going on. And don't be surprised if D'Antoni, buckethead ass, end up out of there too. Because if he feel like D'Antoni can't get the job done, Tillman will bust a move on their ass.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I was glad you about to say that. Now, when you said something about the one-on-one statement in regards to Steph Curry, right? This is the thing. Mike D'Antoni I'm calling him Mark. I'm thinking about old boy from Michigan State. Mike D'Antoni, his forte is offense. He don't believe in defense, and he would get pissed off if you talk about his, he needs to have defense on his team. He would get pissed off at your ass about this shit, but it's good reason. I mean, but apparently it seemed like Houston. Only time Houston to amp up their defense is when in the playoffs, because Golden State won their all 4 of those games by 20 points. For the whole series by a total 20 points. That's pretty impressive.
Exactly.
Not pretty impressive. That's impressive. But it would be what would be very impressive would be if Golden State won the whole series by 3 points or less. 3 points or less. That's fucking defensively impressive. But, Mike D'Antoni, he'll probably be as good as gone. He'll probably be as good as gone. I think when you said about Clint Capella, he needs to develop more of an outside. He needs to develop more of a mid-range outside jumper. Need to become a stretch big, because Carl, he can do it. So if I was Minnesota, I'd make a trade. Clint Capella for Karl Anthony Towns, because Houston got the bread to get the rest of that contract. Chris Paul needs to go ahead and just call it a night. Let Austin Rivers take over. And Nene, he's on his last leg. Nene will probably play one more stretch. I think Eric Gordon will probably will remain a Houston Rocket. But I mean, them the really deciding factors. Now, if you get rid of Mike D'Antoni, you got to have a good coach replacement that knows about offense and defense. So, I mean, I can't say any names about it. I mean, if I was Houston, I would give Jeff Van Gundy another go round.
Or George Karl. I would go after George Karl if he's not too old to where he can't coach. I would go after him personally.
I think he pretty much done.
Oh, but I would get somebody to run a dribble drive like system, because ain't too many coaches out there in the NBA that's running that system. And the dribble drive system that he ran at Denver led them to the conference finals, and they had the Lakers on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Because his version of the dribble drive was pretty goddamn impressive. So, they need to go after somebody that plays an up-tempo style of basketball that has pretty good defensive intensity as well. You know what I'm saying? So I could see. But I definitely wouldn't have mind seeing the Rockets go over the top and, have another championship celebration like the Houston Astros did. You got anything else on that topic before I go to the next topic?
No.
Okay. Philly versus Toronto series. Now, of course, this particular series has gone to a game 7. And I don't know who's going to win this game 7. It's up in the air. This is how close these series are. But the thing is, I'm so disappointed with fucking Joel Embiid. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I brag about Joel Embiid all the goddamn time. I think he is the best center in the NBA. But goddamn it, this motherfucker ain't been playing like it, goddamn it. How the fuck
he been sick?
How the fuck you let slow ass goddamn Toronto shut you down the way they've been shutting them down? This is a guy who's averaged almost 30 points a game, 27 points per game to be exact. How the fuck Toronto is stopping this motherfucker? How the fuck he playing this goddamn Slaw throughout this goddamn series?
He been sick.
Go ahead.
Well, he been sick. He been sick, Jimmy.
He been sick.
He been sick.
Okay, if the motherfucker can run up and down the court, bitch, that's no motherfucking excuse. Michael Jordan was sick, but he still scored 38. I'm not giving that big ass 260-pound dude that could shoot inside out, who's probably the best defensive center in the NBA. The best center in the NBA, in my personal opinion. I'm not giving this motherfucker no goddamn excuses. Bitch, you played in the game. Bitch, you better play better than that, goddamn it. If you can't play, bitch, sit your goddamn ass down. I'm disappointed in that goddamn shit, man. This series would be over by now if Joel Embiid played just a little fucking better. That's my issue with goddamn Joel Embiid. If you're that goddamn sick, if your ass is that far on fire, bitch, why you goddamn playing? That's my goddamn problem. Go ahead and take over real fast.
Man, I'm like this. There's a saying that said, hold up, I had to reconnect. I had a phone call. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you live and direct, bro.
Okay. There was a saying that I had. You know, if a motherfucker talk about he's sick, but if he can walk and talk and run up and down, he can work. Joel Embiid fits that, but fits what I said. Because there's no excuse for him. There's no excuse. Ben Simmons shouldn't have no damn excuse either to not have any
Ooh, baby. I'll get on his ass too, but go ahead, bro. Take on.
Ben Simmons no either. He would be right over the 3-point line and just stand there like, I don't want to shoot it. Do he got stage fright? Did he acquire stage fright all of a sudden? Or what? I don't know. But man, I mean, hey, everybody on that Philadelphia team, I mean, the JJ Redick, I can't, he's not at fault a lot of things. He's doing what he can. But I'm gonna tell you something. And really, another guy who ain't been stepping up, has been having some hot and cold moments, is Jimmy Butler.
I disagree with that.
He's been having some hot and cold moments. But
I have to disagree with that.
Those main two, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they should know better about how they playing. I mean, now you can't give me no excuse about he been sick. Hell, like you said, Michael Jordan played had what somebody put some kind of food poisoning on Michael Jordan's pizza. Damn, they tore his stomach up and he still scored 30-something points. Who else? Let me see. Anybody else I know that did something like that in basketball, football? No, I don't, but just him.
Yeah.
LaDainian Thompson, LaDainian Thompson, he was battling fucking migraines in a game in which he became the first running back to run, pass, and catch for touchdowns in the same game. And he's battling migraines.
Yeah. And I think Brett Favre had been sick several times in games, sick and injured in some cases, and still played. You know what I'm saying? Of course, ultimately they caught up with him to where he had to basically retire at 40. But yeah, he played with injuries and shit like that. But I feel like in basketball, which is an up and down sport, just like football, but it's a little different. Yeah. You have to use your legs a little more because you don't get too much rest times, unlike the quarterbacks in football. But if he was able to play, if Embiid was able to play, if he was able to drive the basketball, there's no excuse for fucking for this fucking fuckery that he's been displaying. You score 33 points and then all of a sudden you give us 12, 14, 17. That's unacceptable, but to me it's unacceptable to a certain degree. But he played a little better last game, so I'm not gonna piss on him. But throughout the course of the series, dude been bullshit. You have probably the best game for a big man out there in probably in basketball. And you've been bullshitting like this, dude. Come on, bro. No fucking Toronto should be able to hold you like that, dude. Hell, you don't play this way.
I think Toronto will win it though. But Toronto gonna win this whole series, man.
And I got a feeling that may happen because with the bullshit. And let me get on Ben Simmons' old goddamn Magnavox radio forehead ass.
Leave them Kardashian girls alone, boy.
That's first and foremost. Bitch, shoot the goddamn ball. Take the goddamn jumper, bitch. I'm tired of goddamn Ben Simmons. And Brett Brown, whoever this guy, is it Brett Brown, the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers? Am I correct on that? His name?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Bitch, take the goddamn jumper, ho. Take that goddamn jumper. How the fuck you have that beautiful of a jump shot? I've seen YouTube clips of this nigga making 3-point shots in practice. Bitch, take the goddamn jumper. You scary ass.
And he took some at LSU.
Exactly. You know, this nigga act like he can't. Go ahead.
And he took some at LSU and they looked good. So what's his problem? What, ESPN to peg him saying, oh, he ain't got a good jump shot. He let ESPN get his head?
Yeah. The dude is a beautiful passer. I love his passing ability. I'm not taking shit away from you as a passer. Brett Brown need to get him out that point guard position. Make JJ Redick the point guard, or who come off the bench as the point guard. Because JJ Redick got enough ball handling to be a good point guard.
Oh, hell yeah.
JJ Redick, he's a natural shooting guard, but make him the point guard. Stop trying to make Ben Simmons the goddamn point guard and put him at the small forward position. Put Jimmy Butler at the shooting guard, because Jimmy Butler is a natural swingman / shooting guard, small forward. But you can put him at the shooting guard position. Put whole ass Tobias Harris at the power forward position, and that's your lineup. And Joel Embiid gonna do what he needs to do. But you know, Ben pussy ass Simmons, that's what I'm gonna call him on this show until he musters up and help them win, or he does better. But Ben pussy ass Simmons need to cut the bullshit. I'm tired of Ben Simmons with that weak ass ability, with all this goddamn talent and not taking that goddamn jumper. Yeah, I see the Herd fight in because he's talking about a boxing fight between Herd and J. Rock Williams. I see J. Rock winning this fight because I'm glancing over in it. Yes, Mark Jackson deserves another shot. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that. I've mentioned that. I think St. John's should have hired him. But, you know, I love Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson's the only issue with Mark Jackson is he's a religious guy. And I think St. John's would have fit into that narrative. So Marcus Johnson is actually chopping up game. You know, shout out to that brother. He definitely got the coon slapper range. So use that. If you see any trolls, slap them hoes. You got all to slap them hoes. How you see fit, man.
Coon slapper range.
Slap them hoes. You know what I'm saying? Where I came in the era where if you're injured, you don't play. But if you're banged up, suck it up and go. I agree. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making excuses for anybody. Yeah. I'm not making excuses for anybody. If you too hurt to play, bitch, don't play. If Isaiah Thomas can set an NBA record for fucking points in a quarter against the LA Lakers, which you could argue that Detroit was robbed. You could argue that. It's a hit or miss call. I felt like Bill Laimbeer was committed a foul, but some people argue different. You know what I'm saying? But if Isaiah Thomas can score 43 points on a fucked up ass jack leg, bitch, I don't want to hear about you being sick, ho. Isaiah Thomas in that game 6, that world famous game 6, where he scored the most points in the NBA Finals quarter that is still held to this day. The closest man to that was Kobe Bryant when he scored 23 versus Boston in a losing effort. If that bitch scored 43 points on a fucked up leg, with ice and tape rolled up around his shit, God damn it, that bitch, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses. Bitch, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses. So it is what it is when it comes to Joel Embiid. Do you got anything else? And Ben Simmons, slaw ass. I'm calling you slaw. Yes, I'm calling you slaw, Ben Simmons. You got beautiful passes, but bitch, you ain't playing up to your potential. You fucking slaw at this point, goddammit. You better win this motherfucker. I'm going to come back on this hoe and clown your light-skinned ass. I'm going to clown your light-skinned ass. So you got anything else you want to say about this fuck-ass topic before I go to the next topic, baby?
No.
Okay, live and direct, we got the Denver series. Now, this is the only series I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't paid attention to because it just is what it is.
That series is hard to call, bro.
Woo! Tell me why, brother. Talk your shit and tell me why, brother.
Well, Portland having problems stopping Jokic, whereas Denver having problems stopping Lillard and McCollum. And if Lillard and McCollum both could combine for 62 points the other night to send this into Game 7. If they get hot again like they did the other night, we finna see one of the most. We are going to be seeing one of the most beautiful and the most finest Western Conference Finals ever. The Splash Brothers versus the Splash Brothers of Portland. But if Denver gets past them, Steve Kerr gonna have to step the defense up. Matter of fact, Mike Brown, he'll help him with a defensive game plan. They're gonna have to formulate a game. They're gonna have to formulate a damn good game plan to stop Jokic. Because I mean, the dude, I've never seen a center like him that can pass like that, and let alone that can shoot like that.
Yeah, with his combination of playing skills, the passing and the shooting ability, yes. Because you could argue Wilt Chamberlain was the best passing center of all time because he actually is the only center in NBA history to lead the league in assists. This is according to basketballreference.com. He's the only center to ever lead the league in assists. So in terms of passing, that could be argued between Chamberlain. Sabonis was a good passer. He was a fancy passer. He was a fancy passer. I'll say that because he had some beautiful passing as well. Jabbar could be argued in that conversation, but in modern day basketball, Jokic is hands down the best passing center. Hands down.
Yeah.
You can't even. But with his combination and ability, he's probably better than all of them in those particular combinations. Because we know Chamberlain's fadeaway jumper and defense hands down. Both sides of the ball. Chamberlain. And Jabbar, kind of blows him out of the water. But with the combinations he currently have, he's a monster, dude. He's a monster. As far as my opinion of Golden State, I think Golden State have played the best team that was remaining in the playoffs, and that's the Houston Rockets. They may get a game or two. If they play Portland, they may get a game or two, but it's still going to turn out to be the same because they know what it takes to win. And from what I understand, Boogie Cousins could possibly come back because from what I've heard around the sources is that he got a second opinion, and the doctor, the second opinion, had said that he could come back for the playoffs. So I don't know. I'll pretty much sit him out still. If I'm trying to re-sign him in my Golden State, I'll probably sit him out. But if it gets into a crucial game situation, then I don't know at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think you play as many as you can. But Kevin Durant is going to be out for 10 days. And that 10 days it actually started when he initially got injured. So 10 days, I say he'll be back the either Sunday or Monday of week after next. So
it looked like more than a calf strain to me though, man, because I think it's somewhere else because the way that man was limping. Don't give me the saying. I believe he did a little something to his Achilles. He probably strained his Achilles.
Yeah,
all that running and jumping that he doing, man. I take it kind of easy.
Yeah, with Denver, I think Denver gets out of there either on a sweep or probably 5 games. They get up out of there. I mean, I like your boy, but I don't think they have what it takes in terms of shooting wise.
Don't count out Jamal Murray now, because hey, he a damn good 2 guard. He can play point and he can shoot.
He can shoot, but dude, you got to be able to shoot as a team against the fucking Golden State Warriors. And they
I think they can do it though.
No, I'm sorry. I'm counting. I'm gonna be a dick and count them hoes out. They might They might have a good game or two, but they're gonna find a way to whoop that ass too. I mean, Milwaukee is probably have the best remaining chance in terms of beating Golden State. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And to beat them for 4 games, I say Milwaukee has the best chance because they have a deep team. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about them either. But I'll go on record and say I'll concede on record to say they got a better chance than anybody. But people in the teams in the West, I don't know, bro. You're gonna have to. It's 4 ways you beat Golden State. Number 1, you be able to shoot the ball very well. Number 2, you have a damn good inside game. Number 2 and number 3 could be combined in the situation. You have a damn good inside game, along with get them in serious foul trouble, like the OKC Thunder. Golden State don't play well under foul trouble. Golden State do not play good with foul trouble. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? For many years, the same way you beat them the last 5 years is the same way you beat them right now. And then in number 4, you get out in transition when they miss those 3-point shots, because those 3-point shots, with a lot of 3-point shots come long rebounds. You know what I'm saying? And not too many people run the old school Paul Westhead system that was mastered by Pat Riley in the 1980s. Not too many people run that kind of offense. And I think the Lakers of the 80s would have blew goddamn Golden State ass out, because as soon as they missed a shot, they was up and down the court with Kareem and James Worthy and Kurt Rambis and those guys, and they made easy baskets on the ass. And not too many coaches are doing that shit. So those are the 4 ways you beat Golden State. If you don't have those 4 in mind and you don't play consistently like that, you're going to lose to Golden State hands down. Update on the boxing match: Julian J. Rock Williams is the new IBF WBA champion at the 154 pounds. So I was updating that for Marcus Johnson. So congratulations to Julian J. Rock Williams. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation for absolutely putting me up on game, and actually doing interviews with Julian J. Rock Williams as well as his trainer. Jared Hurd had a good fight, but I was glancing at it as you was talking. So a good fight for Julian J. Rock. The right person won the fight. It's no controversy at all. So Julian J. Rock gets my respect. And then Philadelphia, y'all stand up, man, represent that brother. But back on topic. Denver's gonna have to bring it. I'm gonna tell you that now. I mean,
yeah, they're going. And I just said Portland gonna have to bring it too, because hey, I like all them guys. I like McCollum. I like Lillard. And Portland really put themselves on the map when now just imagine if LaMarcus Aldridge had stayed at Portland. That would have been a tough matchup for Golden State, dog.
I agree, because the thing
that would have been pretty tough.
But when a team ain't building the way you want them to build, I kind of feel where LaMarcus Aldridge is coming from, because when you taking more L's than the alphabet L's than words in the dictionaries from L's. I mean, dude, I feel LaMarcus Aldridge. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock him for leaving. I mean, pretty much, he didn't make 2 conference finals since he got to the San Antonio Spurs. But still, this would be a hell of a fight. They would have been beat Denver at this point, man. So, but with that being said, man, if you're gonna be Golden State, you better bring it. You better eat your Wheaties, and you got to those 4 game plans. Otherwise, you're not gonna beat them. And that's just the way it is. The next series we're gonna talk about the Milwaukee.
Hold up.
The Milwaukee's. Go ahead.
Hold up.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Doom. It's time for the brand new debut edition of Stump the Smooth, where from the top of my head, matter of fact, from good thorough research, I get to ask Jimmy J. Smooth a question, and the rule is trivia question, and the rule is simple. Jimmy and anybody in the chat room, you can't Google search it. You can't cheat. I'm gonna ask a trivia question. Every now and then, I'm gonna go, when I make this sound, when I go boom, 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 I'm finna stump you. Finna stump the Smooth. So you cannot Google. You can't get on. None of y'all can't get on your Google machines. If you're in the chat room, Marcus Johnson, anybody, you can't get on the Google machines. Your Google machine is your head. You got to think about it long. You got to think about it good and hard. So, Jimmy, are you ready for me to stump the smooth?
Go ahead, bro.
This is a college football question. Name the last.
You going in and out?
What the fuck?
You, bro. Either.
Okay.
Okay.
Name the last college football quarterback to win back-to-back national championships. One of them is Tommy Frazier. Who was the last?
Back-to-back championships? Is it AJ McCarron from Alabama?
Did you Google that nigga? I know your ass did. Did you?
No, I don't, because I know Alabama football. I don't even have to Google that bit.
He was the last one.
I don't even have to Google that hoe, dude. Come on, man. That's easy work.
Now I'm gonna come up with a new stump question, and that for the chat listeners. In a spin of that, I want you to do your thorough Google research and find me and tell me the last team to win back-to-back national titles with two different quarterbacks.
Back-to-back national titles with two.
This for your chat listeners. But while they're looking at that, Jimmy, we can talk about Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee. And Milwaukee did everything I said they needed to do to just go and get them up out of there. Because to me, it's a good thing that Boston is not in the championship game, because you know what they did. They got them up out of there early. They maintained a double-digit lead to where, you know what I'm saying, Boston was not going to be a factor in terms of, you know what I'm saying, keeping up with them. Now, I agree with ESPN. They did say that they gave up. I agree. Boston did give up because goddamn Milwaukee took their will away. And when Milwaukee had Malcolm Brogdon in that lineup, they're probably as good as Golden State, damn near. And I say damn near because Golden State is the champion. But again, I said if Milwaukee did not blow them holes out, it's going to be a tough series for them. And I thought it was going to be a tougher series than what I realized. But, you know, Milwaukee took care of business like I said they needed to take care of, and they got their ass up out of there. And it's a good thing people don't have to go to Boston, because those cheating-ass referees in Boston, you got some cheating-ass, hoe-ass referees up there. So
don't tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, it's good that the conference finals is somewhere different outside of Boston, outside of Deceiveland, a.k.a. Cleveland. It's good that it is somewhere different. You know, Milwaukee had won a championship back in '71 with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the time. He still carried the name Lou Alcindor with Oscar Robinson, who are both his first ballot Hall of Famers, hands down. If I think Milwaukee, whoever they plays, I think Philadelphia would probably give them their biggest challenge.
I think Toronto.
I'm saying that if them hoes ain't playing like shit. If they playing like shit, it's gonna be a 4-game, 5-game series. Toronto may give them problems, but Kyle Lowry been a little bit consistent in this series. I ain't gonna piss on him too much. You know what I'm saying? Because he have been consistent in this series. I wish he would play a little bit better defense on the other side, but offensively he's been better than what he has been in normal situations. So Toronto, it may go into a 6-game, possibly 7-game series, and that's mostly because he got Dwayne Casey's players mostly. But it would be basically they're playing off talent and not necessarily coaching. I'm just gonna be real with it because I still think they would be in the same situation. I think if Dwayne Casey was coaching them now, they would probably beat the shit out of Philadelphia at this point. I'm just being totally honest.
The series would have been over if Dwayne Casey had been coaching. But you were talking about the Celtics, okay?
Yeah,
they did give up, and Kyrie Irving catching a lot of fucking heat. He's catching a lot of heat right now because he should have been playing a little bit better too, and he's really has shown us that he's not a very good, capable leader. But you want to know an interesting stat, Jimmy? 21-6.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Right.
21-6. 21 wins and 6 losses. That was Boston's record without Kyrie Irving. With Kyrie Irving, they were 28-27. So what that tell you? And then plus, he talking bad about the team and everything. Let's not forget, Boston finished with the best record in the East last year without who? Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward.
Kyrie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They damn near went. And by the way, and everybody knows since you said the referees were cheating in Boston. Okay, why the referees didn't do Boston solid in Game 7 against Cleveland last year? Because I think Boston and Golden State would have been a damn good finals. Even though Boston wouldn't have won, it would have been a damn good finals.
Yeah.
But we knew Golden State. But we knew Golden State was going to sweep them.
Oh yeah.
But Kyrie Irving got a lot of work to do on himself, bro.
His problem is he got a fucking ego. He got too much of a damn ego. Ever since he hit that game-winning shot, his ego been on steroids at this point.
Yep.
And he pretty much busted up the Cleveland team. Let's just be honest there. With assistance from LeBron James, because I gotta call you LeBrick. You can't get your name back until you play like LeBron, the one. LeBron James with assistance from LeBron James. So you're gonna be LeBrick until you stop playing like shit and be LeBron the one. So for now on, I'm gonna call LeBron James. Shout out to my boy Acetone, who's on the first state championship team from St. George's, Memphis on St. George's. Thank you for giving me that lifeline when it comes to the name LeBron James. But LeBron James had assistance with that with assistance from LeBron James. So Kyrie Irving, where the fuck he gonna go? New York?
What they talking about New York, and then Kevin, and then check this out. What they talking about, he might go to New York. Him and Kevin Durant might go to New York, and Anthony Davis. That's not gonna work because one, they say they are really not the most approachable people with the media and outside of and with the media. But I don't know about how they is outside. What they do is their business. But how is that going to work though? And then if they manage to get Zion Williamson, okay, yeah, you got yourself a good team there. But I don't think that's going to work. I really think Kevin. I think Kevin Durant he's gonna stay in Golden State. They're gonna find something. They're gonna find somebody. They're gonna have some. Because looking at what probably because Golden State with their TV revenue, annual sales, and the percentage they get from the house. That's gonna help them. That's gonna put them more money in the bank, so they can put them more money on the players' payroll, so they can go ahead and pay these cats. So I still think Kevin Durant's gonna stay at Golden State. Kyrie, he might stay. Like I said, he might stay, but like you said, dude got an ego, man. He really do. He got an ego is just about as wide as all outdoors.
Yeah, and you said that the players pay cut is supposed to increase. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, as you know, okay, fiscal year is coming up, right? Next year. Next month fiscal
Correct.
year. Correct. Okay. Just watch. Why? Okay, think about it. All that TV revenue and stuff coming in. How you think Memphis Grizzlies been signed Conley that big contract?
Oh yeah, I mean that plays a factor. That plays a major factor.
So whatever Golden State get back from their total TV revenue and everything else, they're gonna be able to sign the players they want to keep and get rid of the players they don't want.
And now that you mention that shit, you are 1000% right, because they also generate money from international television revenue, because you can literally watch the NBA finals in the Philippines, in Great Britain. You can literally watch that hoe in China and shit like that. So, and they generate money for people paying for television rights in different countries. So definitely increase because mainly because of that, the TV rights, you know what I'm saying, advertisement, and to name a few. Because I was listening to somebody, because I have an international Facebook page, and I was listening to somebody from the Philippines, clown James Harden. Oh, James Harden can do it. I'm dying laughing at this whole dog. I wish I could screenshot it. Because I flipped over and somebody from the fucking Philippines was clowning James Harden. You know, so that's how big international the NBA has went. Because it's just like the Premier League in soccer. The Premier League is the biggest soccer organization in the world. So the NBA has the level of the Premier League in terms of that. Because you can name how the fuck you get clowned all the way from, dude. You have to. How the fuck you get clowned from past the international date line up in this motherfucker?
Wow.
This motherfucker, when you go to Hawaii and you fly past that hole, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere up in New Zealand, you can walk to New Zealand and it'll be a 23-hour time difference. And you can walk back over in New Zealand and you'll be at a different time zone. So, like, how the fuck you get clowned from the fucking past the international date line up in this bitch?
Oh no, James Harden pulled that off.
So yeah, it's money. So yeah, they should get rights to that. They should get their money out there in this whole, man. So man, you got anything else you want? Wait.
Like I said, and also let's not also forget all the NBA players get a percentage of the house too.
Yes, sir.
Ticket sales and the gate and everything else. So, hey, they get all the incentives. Like, look at Karl Anthony Towns. On top of what he gets, whatever he made this year, he gets a certain amount of extra money that'll have him paid almost $32 million for one season because he made the All NBA team. Now, ain't that some shit?
Oh yeah. And that ain't and typically that don't happen. They just give you a contract based on the Players Association split and be like, hey, but they get a percentage of the house. And shit, is they doing their thing. But the international television rights is coming in crazy. So shout out to the Players Association for that. You know what I'm saying? You got anything else you want to discuss before I jump on to the next topic, brother?
No, sir.
Okay, let me jump on this. I'm gonna go to ESPN.com real fast. Okay, the NCAA is proposing moving the 3-point line. It may be slightly difficult to make 3-pointers next season. Bullshit, but I'll continue. The NCAA's rules committee is proposed moving the 3-point line back to the international distance 1 foot farther than the current line. The current international line is 22 feet. In 1 inches, while the current 3-point line is 20 feet 9 inches, which was originally the international line. It was moved from the 1995 in 2008 and 2009. The proposal must be approved by June the 5th. If passed, it will go into effect during the 2021 season for D1, D2, and D3, which could propose as a potential financial impact. After gathering the information, said Tad Boyle, the Colorado coach, a part of the chairman committee, the freedom of movement remains important, and we must feel open to the game. We believe we will remove some congestions on that basket. The NIT, of course, had used the experimental rules. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about the NIT both preseason and the end of the season NIT. According to the committee, the lane would back up. The 3-point lines extension would clear more lane for the basket. The dribble drive action make the 3-pointer more challenging, and it is what it is when it comes to that. But the time is right to get this right close to the 3-point line. Shooting has improved. Well, nigga, Jay Wright, your team can shoot the shit out them hoes. So the way your system is, you can shoot the shit out them hoes. Go ahead, man.
I mean, why bother? Okay, what's the current distance? What's the current length and width of the 3-point line right
29,
now?
29, brother. 29.
29?
Yeah.
Okay, and they consider moving it back to what it was at first before they changed to 29.
No, what they're doing is they're going to move it. They're going to move it to the international line, which is 22-1. They're going to move it to the current international line. They're going to move it further back.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
But with Jay Wright's system, Jay Wright, he got dudes that can bomb that bitch.
Yeah, that'll work for Jay Wright, but but all these other coaches though, man, shit. Yeah, you know how some of these old stubborn coaches did. Well, you might well just eliminate 3-point line altogether. Make basketball great again the way it is.
But that ain't gonna ever happen unless
that ain't gonna never happen.
And unless you get a crackhead for the selection committee. Also, they're considered resetting the shot clock to 20 seconds after offensive rebound. Players access flagrant 2 technical fouls and ejections for using derogatory language about an opponent's gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation. Bitch, y'all should have been doing it if y'all ain't already did that.
Doing that shit.
Yeah, allowing the live ball timeouts in the last 2 minutes or second half and overtime, conducting instant replay reviews for goaltending, basketball interference in the final 2 minutes or in the half. Bitch, you should have been doing that shit too, goddammit. But it depends on the system. I think it'll work for Bruce Pearl because Bruce Pearl version of dribble drive is more 3-point oriented than John Calipari's 3-point dribble drive. Calipari is more like street ball, get to the basket type shit.
Calipari hood ball.
Yeah, it's hood ball. Shoot the jumper when your jumper is broken in the South Memphis housing project. I mean, that's John Calipari. and no disrespect to my people out in Memphis. I love y'all to death. Even though y'all got some shit city council members, but I digress. But John Calipari will tell his players, keep on shooting that jumper, and your jumper broke as hell. I like Bruce Pearl's version of the dribble drive. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. That'll work for him. You know what I'm saying? Then he got a lot of Atlanta niggas that could, and Atlanta basketball is no different than Memphis basketball. You watch those two basketball. Atlanta may bring out more NBA players than Memphis, but on the high school, college level, Memphis players are better on that level. But on the professional level, they bring out more players. You know what I'm saying? So that'll work for Bruce Pearl better than a lot of coaches. So I gotta see about this. I gotta see a demonstration of it. I gotta watch the NIT preseason tournament before and see how that works for guys. To give my opinion on it, because I'm 50-50 on that. I'm 50-50 on that. So it is what it is.
What it is.
Shout out to my boy Dabo Sweeney. Let me go back to this because I'm doing this off my memo pad. Okay, get your ass up off here. Yes, sir. Clemson. Shout out to my boy Dabo Swinney. Much love to you, Dabo. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of you beating up on my SEC teams like Alabama and Tennessee and all them. I can't stand you motherfuckers. But you know what? I'm gonna give you some props. Clemson has recruited the number 2 quarterback in the country. And the number 2 quarterback in the country is willing to wait his turn until Trevor Lawrence do his thing. And he's talking about even redshirting.
Yeah.
So DJ Guy lately. I'm not gonna kill your name, but I'm gonna try my best to do it. He's apparently a Hawaiian or Samoan or Polynesian descent. He has already got fans in the Clemson circle. But according to the 2020 the 2020 hold on. Okay, he's scheduled to, okay, I'm looking at it right. Okay, the next year's recruiting class. He's the number 2 quarterback on ESPN's top 150, I think it is. He and the Clemson is ready for him. You know, of course, he's the mobile Polynesian guy. You know, his dad, you know what I'm saying, has been warmly welcomed. And his dad is 6'4", 395 pounds. Damn, what the fuck did you do, nigga? Okay, security measures. Okay. He was a security guard. Okay. I'm scrolling. But his son is, you know what I'm saying, got a big arm, you know, can move, you know what I'm saying? But they consider him a pocket passer in spite of his dual threat abilities, man. But they submitted a great recruiting opportunity to go on and get him. And shout out to Dabo Swinney, man. And he's a good kid, academically smart. He's also a baseball prospect, so that may conflict. That could possibly conflict there. But I say get with football first and see where it goes, and then if it don't work out, then go on and play football. But the dude got a cannon for an arm, man. What do you think about Dabo Swinney doing his thing, getting another top recruit as usual?
Well, no comment on that. I think it's good. I mean, it's not. It's not a bad no comment. Dabo's just doing his thing, man. He ain't finna get paid $93 million for nothing. So, shit. I mean, he doing what he doing. I think he can land. I think he can land some more. Dabo to me right now, he is the Nick Saban of the ACC. Period.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, hey, he gets a good staff because he have co-offensive coordinators. Ain't no co-defensive coordinator because both of us gave Brent Venables his respect. So, yeah, Brent, I put it like this: Brent Venables. The day Brent Venables leave Clemson, that's it. Because Clemson ain't gonna.
I agree.
Because Clemson ain't gonna never have another defense like Brent Venables, man.
They're gonna always bring out big defensive linemen, but the scheme that he runs, because that part of South Carolina where Clemson is located at, you have some of your best defensive linemen, you know, in history in terms of per capita. Because you had the what's that dude, Refrigerator Perry and his brother, who people slept on how good his brother was at Cleveland, even though he was a nose tackle and made 6 Pro Bowls. His younger brother was a better player than he was. People slept on how good. You hear about Refrigerator Perry because he won a championship, but his brother was a better player. But you know, you got a lot of guys coming out of the state of South Carolina in terms of defensive linemen. So in terms of the scheme, in terms of the defensive intensity, if Brent Venables leaves, I have to agree with you 1,000%. You know, talent-wise, in terms of linemen, they're going to always be able to produce linemen because that's what Clemson do, and Clemson is known for it. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man. Do you have any particular topics you want to discuss before I get to the last 2?
No, because I covered my Lakers topic and told you how I felt about that. I don't have nothing.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm going to discuss the last 2 topics, and then we're going to get on out of here. But it's time to talk about reparations.
wait. Okay. let me take that back. I apologize.
Go ahead.
We're gonna talk about this. And I'm sorry, I apologize, Jimmy. This wrestler by the name of Lio Rush in WWE, he's been catching a lot of heat lately with his behavior. And you know, young niggas don't know any better. Okay, I'm just gonna go come on out with it. Lately he's been catching a lot of heat because his behavior at the European tour, and when WWE had toured the European tour, it's a policy in which the junior members of the roster has to basically do grunt work, you know, like clean the locker rooms, make sure the locker rooms straighten up, make sure the vets had the bags ready. That way, when they get ready to go, they bags is ready to go. So that way they can catch the next flight on to where they got to go and enjoy time with the family and gone, or and make sure they had a water after match, this and that, right? Okay, you there?
Yeah, I'm listening, bro. I'm listening.
Okay, all right. Now, apparently, okay, three guys done it because they didn't mind. Well, Leo had to go into business for himself and decide not to do it because he talking about that was a sign of racism. Okay, which is not, because if you the lowest guy on the totem pole, you got to do what the fuck somebody asks you to do. Okay. And even I'll admit, you know, I'm gonna say it here. I'm a Libra. Libras are known to not take orders we give them. We're known not to be given demands. We make them. You know.
What's his name again?
Lio Rush. Lio Rush. Because when you read up on it, he got a lot of heat on him about a lot of things. Now, this is something that pissed me off. Shout out to old school NWA manager of the Midnight Express, Jim Cornette. This got Jim Cornette's attention, and this even had my attention when this was mentioned. Now, Leo hollering about that, and I quote, he said that he be broke as a joke because he don't be having enough money to pay for his hotel, rent a car, let alone a flight, or have food to eat, or have money to have food to eat. Okay. This dude make $300,000 a fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Jimmy, you divide that by 12. That's 25,000.
Yeah. Now,
if you divide 25,000, because it's 4 weeks in a month. Now, if you divide 25 into 4, that's 6,000, a little bit over 6,000 a month before taxes. Now, he get paid that every week. Now, Mark Henry even said that you getting paid every week by WWE based off of what you make off a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ain't no damn excuse for you to say that you broke as a joke. Okay, now granted, Leo is married to a, wait for it, white woman and has 2 kids. Now, I made a comment on this on YouTube by saying, and oh, by the way, when Jim Cornette found this out about it, he said, and I quote, Leo needs to cry me a fucking river. He said, because I lost, he said, I had a good payday from a Tupelo show in Memphis for $5,000. And he said, $4,000 went over to his car when it broke down when he was on his way from Tupelo to Memphis. And he had to come out of $4,000 to get it back. And he said, and I barely had $700 something to take care of what I need to. So cry me a fucking river, you know, about you being broke as a joke, which I agree with Jim Cornette on that. Now, if you bring home $6,000 a week before taxes, so you still bring home close to that. And even though you're independent contractor, you set your taxes where they go ahead and take them out on the back end at the year. Okay. And if you leaving your wife some money behind, kicking back some money to your wife behind to take care of this and that, to help take care of the house while you're gone, that's understandable. But if you out here booking first class hotels, first class flights, and renting luxury cars to get yourself back and forth on the road, not only you deserve to be broke as a joke, and you fucking stupid. So Jimmy, and also by the way, if you YouTube the clip, Lio Rush powerbomb through table, This little young bastard went to business for himself. When you get powerbombed, when you get slammed from something that high through a wooden fucking table, and then you gonna pop back up like ain't shit wrong with you, you basically killed the business. You go into business for yourself. So basically, he no-sold a powerbomb through the table. And your boy Booker T talked about that. I don't know what all he said, but like he even said the same thing. He said he agreed with Mark Henry. Come on, Deb, come off that bullshit about you being broke as a joke. You get paid $300,000 a year, in which he was talking about with contract negotiations. He wants $600,000 a year.
We don't know. I don't really know the entire situation of this, but I do know we look at people's contracts, especially, this is give me that kind of money and I'll show you what to do with it. But we don't know who he owes either, because he could owe some people. He could, because he does have a independent wrestling background. He could owe his old independent circuit some money. They could be taking a good chunk out of their money. So we don't really know what's really going on until we actually know what's really going on.
Right.
And so, even $3,000 a week, he should be able to manage that, especially as a 24-year-old.
Yeah. No, but I said he's getting, $6,000 a week,
No, I'm saying even if he's getting $3,000 a week, he's still, because they might be taking a huge chunk out of his paycheck, but I don't know what these people are really taking out his paycheck, because he might owe his own independent contractors, because sometimes, with certain sports or certain organizations, if you take a certain client of theirs, what they'll do is they'll charge the client more than they'll charge the WWE or big guys, because they have big lawyers and shit like that. As far as the cleaning prize that, I get, them asking you to clean up behind yourself or some shit like that. I don't know about the part where they're asking them to clean up behind other wrestlers. I don't know.
If it's any trash that's around, it's more like you go into an arena. Okay, when you went into the arena, it was clean. When you leave it's supposed to be like that. Just like grunt work, just make sure everything's taken care of.
Okay. So I get that part of it. So yeah, I don't really know what the dude's situation really is, because I can't really speak on it personally. From what you described, he does come across as a young and dumb and full of cum ass dude. That he does come across it, but I don't know for sure. Me personally, but we don't know. I wouldn't mind interviewing him personally to see what's actually going on. If you don't know this guy on a personal level, I'm talking to the guys out there on the YouTube land, tell them to holler at me, because I would love to get him on my show and get his point of view, because we truly know what's going on. But from the particulars that you described to me, it sounds like he on some bullshit, but I don't know. I give him a fair shot. I give him a fair shot, because that's why I like to talk to people, because you never know what's going on in these people's personal life.
True.
Yeah, but do you have anything else before I jump on to my last two topics?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, reparations. Because I'm gonna be a little political right here. You don't have to enter, and unless you want to, because I know you're not the political type, but I have to call some hoes out, especially on the political circuit, because lately it's time to talk about reparations or get out our face. And this is just what I mean. Either talk about the issues, or just get the fuck out our face. The Democrats, who's been perceived to be for black people, which I can go all day about the Democratic Party, because they full of shit. They was the ones that installed that Clinton crime bills and all those other good shit. They is on some fuckery. It's time to talk reparations at this point, because it's too much shit going on in the black community for us not to get reparations. Mm-hmm. First of all, we had to come to the United States and and to make free labor for slave masters who raped, beat, killed, sodomized, our men and women, our boys and girls. Without free slave labor, the United States ain't where it is today. Let's just keep this a $1.10. Without free slave labors for those 300, 400 years of free slave labor, you don't have Wells Fargo. Yes, Wells Fargo was created through slavery. Wachovia, yes, Wachovia was created through slavery. Chase Bank, Bank of America, formerly of Nations Bank, Boatman's Bank, the banking system don't exist. Also, without free slave labors, you probably don't win the war, the Civil War, that is, because the South was kicking the North's ass. The South was kicking the North's ass until black slaves came and started whooping that ass. You know what I'm saying? And then you have some coons that was for the Confederate as well, because all the resources was in the South. The only thing the North had was factories. So it's time to talk about slave reparations. It's time to give us our 40 acres and a mule. So our 40 acres and a mule would add up to about $170,000, $75,000, because the equivalent of 40 acres and a mule among at least 337 million black people that are projected to be natural born black citizens or descendants of slaves would probably add up to $6.4 trillion.
Right.
All you Democrats trying to go to the churches down south and trying to get that old school eyes bucking crowd. I'm gonna call some old school people out, because there were some good things about the old school, but there were some major fuck ups about the old school. And I'm gonna call you hoes out. You motherfuckers that was born before the 1970s, you some of you motherfuckers. I'm not calling all, because there's some good people but we got to call them out. You motherfuckers is too trusting of white people too goddamn much. And again, all white people ain't bad. But what I have a problem with, when you trust white people to the point to where you'll trust white supremacists, where you'll trust these very same racist ass cops and racist ass judges, racist ass teachers who will miseducate your kid and then want to send you to jail for not bringing them to that stupid ass school, that miseducated ass school that y'all fucking up. First of all, black people need to start getting an independent school system, but that's for another day. But all you Democrats trying to go inside the church crowd, the old eyes bucking crowd, the old slave massa be good ass crowd, that's not gonna work no more, because these young kids are waking up. I'm talking about the woke folks, not the slow folks. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit about trying to use that religious bullshit that you've used for many, many years, that shit ain't gonna work no more. Either bring something to the stable to the table, or get the fuck out our goddamn faces at this point. All you Democrats bringing Coon Mala Harris and Cory Booty Booker, or as Tariq would call it, Cory Booty, with his goddamn Mr. Clean looking ass. You trying to fake a goddamn relationship with Rosario Dawson? Man, Rosario Dawson like white dudes up in this motherfucker. How? Yeah, really? You really wanna go there? Man, get Cory Booty out my goddamn face too. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers need to bring something stable to the table. And I'm saying here on live, I don't give a fuck if it's a family member, mother, brother, sister, any goddamn thing. I'm not voting for neither one of you hoes, Republican or Democrats, till you get this goddamn shit together in this United States. You say we're the United States of America. I can't tell if you're the United States of triple K America. That's what the fuck it is right now. You kill black people with fucking impunity, and then your best deflection is, what about black on black crime? Bitch, that don't dismiss the fucking fact that you just killed a motherfucker in cold blood. That don't dismiss the motherfucking fact that you had a 400-year head start among black people. You gave Italians, Irishmen, Chinese, Japanese, even Mexicans. Yes, Mexicans got reparations. Look up the Mexican War Agreement, you know what I'm saying, to rebuild Mexico and shit like that. So all you motherfuckers who trying to slide your way up in black society, motherfucker, I'm not voting for any one of you motherfuckers. And this goes for House of Representatives. I might vote for local elections, but I don't know about that either. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not voting for any one of you hoes because you are the reason why the United States is in the situation it is. You need to bring something stable to the table. Give us our fucking 40 acres and a mule. Give us a decent head start, because that's not even including the reparations that the Indians were supposed to give us. You need to make them hoes drop it off too, because I can go all day too. I think there should be reparations for black people that came into the United States before 1970. There needs to be reparations, but the first thing you need to do is give people reparations for the slavery, for the mistrials of the United States of America. Because the United States of America is killing people with impunity. You got any kind of white supremacist militia groups, white supremacist cops can just go out there and blow a kid's head off and, oh, I feared for my life. He had a gun. Bitch, I really want to say some shit, but I know YouTube will flag this shit out, but I'll talk about it off air. But I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm gonna tell you this right now. You better fix this shit. You motherfuckers better fix this shit. If you're not talking about reparations, or at least giving us the potential of bringing something stable to the table, get out my fucking face with that bullshit fable. This ain't Aesop fables from the Greek times. This is motherfucking 2019. If we really truly the United States of America, you convict white dudes for the same shit that R. Kelly is doing. And let me say something on the side note about R. Kelly. If your kid was really fucked up by R. Kelly, what you motherfuckers should have did was do the same thing Sam Cooke's family did to goddamn Bobby Womack. You know what happened to Bobby Womack?
No.
He got his ass stumped out by Sam's Cooke family because from the grapevine, I cannot prove this. This is alleged. They went over there and stumped this nigga out because he had sex, and this is the reason why Sam Cooke's wife, which he married, divorced him. But again, I can't prove this. This happened so far long ago. But Bobby Womack had sex with Sam Cooke's. I think one of his daughters, or allegedly. I have to say allegedly, but she did divorce him behind that. But Sam Cooke, he did it or he didn't. They went over there and stumped this motherfucker out. So if we got predators in our community, just like this fuck boy in Houston who molested this girl up in Houston, apparently, I'm gonna say apparently for legal purposes, nigga, because the biological dad was talking about this. You should go holler at this nigga. You should move around and go holler at this dude right here. So if we got R. Kelly's running around in our community, we need to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why the Haitian Revolution was effective because we got with the coons and the sellouts and the fucking stupid motherfuckers first. You know what I'm saying? So we got to clean up house before we sweep around anybody's corner. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I'm saying. Before you say anything about anybody that's doing something crazy in our community, white people or white supremacists, I should say, you need to take care of niggas like Mark Collins Rectum, as I call it. Mark Collins Rectum. You can look him up. You need to take care of motherfuckers like Harvey Weinstein, who's a documented rapist, and his rapist ass bitch stumping brother. Them both some sickos. You need to sweep around your corner first. You know what I'm saying? Because you are co-signing too much misfits in white society. Just this past week, I've seen at least 20 cases of white dudes getting probation for sexual crimes, for raping kids, raping boys, raping girls. That's sad, but you want to talk about black society. Last time I checked, white people have committed 80% of the sex offenses in this country. And this is not me saying this. This is a white organization saying this. So take care of what you need to take care of. Have a justice system and not no just us system. If you want to be the true United States of America, drop off their reparations first. Then for black people that have a quarter Indian or 10% Indian in them, drop off that money for us too. Drop that money off too. You know what I'm saying? You need to drop it off first of all. But you know what I'm saying? In closing,
drop it like it's hot. Shit.
Yeah. But in closing with the reparations talk, I don't want to hear shit from any Democrat, Republican and I don't want to hear shit from a white person, period, talking about a black person, a black person all we want is a fucking handout. Bitch, y'all the king of motherfucking handouts.
Y'all the king of handouts.
You the motherfucking king of handouts. Because look at the New Deal. It took black people damn near 30 years to get welfare. And what you did, you used that as an opportunity to destroy the black family.
Yep.
Black women, a lot of the black women, I'm not saying all, because you had some dusty Negroes that was pretty much responsible, but you had a lot of black women. I'm not mentioning all because I love Frances Cresswell sing Shahrazad Ali. I love y'all sisters. You know, Nikhil Young Love, she's an up-and-coming YouTuber. I love your sister. I love that afro. Let me hug your afro when I see you. But anyway, back to what I'm saying, man. You had the United States. It took 33 years for black people to get welfare. And you couldn't have a man in the house in order to get welfare. We took motherfucking nigga trinkets, aka butter biscuits, over a fucking family. When before 1966, black people in the United States had a 95% fucking marriage rate. Had a 95% marriage rate among black people. No other group in the United States has ever had that close to a marriage rate in history. And you helped destroy it by giving us welfare and telling this woman you couldn't take out the man. You couldn't have a man in the house. So wow. Goddamn it, before you say any motherfucking thing about a black person wanting a motherfucking handout, bitch, y'all the king of handouts, because that New Deal gave y'all hoes nothing but goddamn handouts up in this motherfucker. So that's my closing with reparations. I may jump on that subject at another time, but I said what I need to say. Do you got anything you want to say about that before I get to my final topic, baby?
No, well, I'm gonna say this for anybody, because I know the questions coming up, you know, as regards to why I don't talk about politics. I don't, because it's the same shit every year. You know, like hell, like with the presidential vote, everybody know this. Hell, the vote already decided before it's announced who's gonna be the damn president. So, but it's just a lot of shit that just is going on, and I really don't like it. You know, like what's going on with number 45. This motherfucker doing, you know, he evading jail time. He don't want to show his tax statements. He don't want to do shit. You know, and he lying through his teeth. Granted, like I said, he done a couple things that I did approve, but him as the leader of the free world, no, I don't like that. And you know, and as far and I see really a whole lot. I see a whole lot of coonery and all this shit go on. You know, and matter of fact, Jimmy, hey, we saw more politics at our old employer more than anything, right or wrong.
Agreed.
Okay. So, you know, and then I remember one time I made a post on a group on Facebook. I said, some of these motherfuckers should be working for the goddamn Pentagon. As much politicking and shit they be doing here, hell, you got politics everywhere. So I agree with everything what you said, man. You know, and I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not two things I don't talk about much. I don't talk about, and we don't talk about on here. Now, granted, I will spit a little something out from the good book. We don't talk about politics, and we don't talk about religion. That's that you know, our talk show is like the rules of a bar.
Yeah.
You know, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, Jimmy has one final topic.
Yes. The importance of the older sibling, the oldest, and the older brother concept, particularly the oldest and the older brother concept. Now, in Black society, historically, the oldest child got all the ass whoopings in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, the oldest and the older brother, particularly the older brother because he's the stronger of the species, but the oldest / older brother, I have to slash it to it like Yo Gotti slash, but yeah. the oldest brother is the foundation of Black society for the most part. When dad is not there, the older sibling or the oldest sibling has to step in, so the youngest siblings or the youngest of the siblings become successful. Now, if you look through music, like Isley Brothers, it was the three oldest siblings. O'Kelly O'Kelly Jr., excuse me. Rest in peace to him. Rudolph Isley and Ron Isley.
Right.
They were the foundation of the next three Isleys, which one of them was the brother-in-law, but I digress with that. They were the foundation of the Marvin, the Ernie Isley, and Chris Jasper, who was a key songwriter in the Isley Brothers. You know, it was them who started off, you know, You Make Me Want to Shout, you know, Shake It Up Baby. Those guys, you know, started this foundation of success. All the younger guys did was made them a Grammy Hall of Fame, Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award guys. And they believed in the younger siblings so much to where Chris Jasper ended up going to arguably the best music school in the country, Juilliard Music School of New York City. You know what I'm saying? And probably the best performing arts school of all together, because you have more Grammy winners, more Academy Award winners come out of the School of Juilliard than any other school in the world. More Academy Award winners than any other school in the world. So you're saying the big brothers really believed in those younger Isleys. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, what brought me to this topic is Booker T. Of course, Booker T represents my newly found home of Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Memphis raised kid, but Houston is home. That's what I always tell people. When people ask me where I'm from, I can go either way with it. I can say I'm from Houston and people will back me 1,000%. I can say I'm from Memphis and people will back me 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? But in, you know, the homegrown Houston boys, Booker T and Stevie Ray of the Harlem Heat. And I should have talked about it when the Hall of Fame happened, but I kind of missed it because it was so much. But I listened to at least Booker T's Hall of Fame speech, which brings me to this topic. Stevie Ray was the oldest brother of the Huffman family. I don't know how many kids was involved. I think it was like 7 of them.
12.
5 or 6.
12.
12. Oh, 12. So yeah. So he's the oldest. I want to say he's the oldest brother of all of them. He's definitely the oldest brother for sure. But Booker T was a knucklehead. So was his brother, but his brother was kind of like, he was the big brother that could get out of trouble real fast.
Yeah.
And he said in his speech, you know, hey, I wanted to be just like my brother. And Booker T is being like 10, 12 years younger than Stevie Ray. And they lost their parents at a young age, you know, and Stevie Ray had to hold down the family. And those are the people that typically hold down Black society for the most part. When dad leaves, the oldest brother, just like my brother, I have to shout my brother out, John Campbell. You know who he is. You've known him probably longer than me personally. He held down the family, and he still is. You know, at one point, you know, I held down the family, and then, you know, when he, you know, went to school to Tennessee Tech, and he's pretty much holding down the family on a financial level, because I can ask him for whatever, he'll shoot it to me with no question. He's like, what you need it for? Like, bam, that's all he's going to ask. And that's the reason why I don't ask him that much. I ask him when I'm in an emergency situation. And if you're listening, brother, I thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody in the family is asking this dude for change. I'm not going to do that, because the way I was raised and the way my brother built the foundation, you know, I can't say outside of the knuckleheads on the streets, because we did grow up around knuckleheads. I was taught to be independent. You know, I learned that from in and outside the household. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I like to thank my brother live and direct. You know, he's not significantly older than me, but I looked up to my older brother. You know what I'm saying? And I stayed out of trouble along with guys on the streets that really knew who he was. It was like, hey, you Joni brother, you John and Joni brother, man, get your ass off this fucking ass block, nigga. You know, I ain't gonna put no pistol in you, but nigga, I'm gonna send you to the house. That's how it was.
Right.
You know, saying? You know, but Booker T is in that Hall of Fame speech, he thanked his brother, and he's the one that got Booker T in wrestling, just like the Isley brothers got their brothers in music. When they saw their brothers were successful music people, they backdoor been like, "Bam, man, our brothers can sing, but they can't play no instruments. Let's play all the instruments, and we're gonna make 3+3 Isleys." And that's the reason. And the 3+3 Isleys were the most successful of the Isley brothers. The Isley brothers that was produced by R. Kelly had some success. Had similar success, but not quite the success the 3+3's Isleys. Because when you talk about Isley brothers, if you're not talking about Chris Jasper and Ron Isley and Ernie, they not trying. People ain't trying to listen to you because, like in the late '80s, when the older siblings prior to Kelly's death tried to go solo. Even though the albums was bumping, nobody was trying to fuck with them without Ernie playing the guitar and Marvin playing the bass. They wasn't trying to fuck with the Isley brothers like that. But
no.
My point is, Stevie was the foundation to Booker T's success, and Booker T ended up becoming successful, more successful than. But you can't mention Booker T without motherfucking Stevie Ray.
That's
because
it.
He was the one that told him, "Hey, you might want to come with me on this because I got a wrestling gig." Because they had a little wrestling gig from Houston. Wasn't that much successful, but that wrestling gig closed down in Houston, which he in later years, him and his brother running a wrestling company now. They went to Dallas, got with a famous guy. Bam, they end up coming to Memphis for a short period of time. Got trained under the late Eddie Gilbert.
Yep.
Rest in peace to the late Eddie Gilbert. And they went to WCW from there, and the most tag team titles of any wrestling organization.
Yep.
At that particular time, and he was like, "I always wanted to be like my brother, and to this day, I want to be like my brother." And if you look at more people in the music industry, look at Big Louis Burrell or Louis Burrell's Jr., MC Hammer, MC Hammer. Nobody fuck with Big Louis up in Oakland. Everybody from Oakland, if you listening, you know about Big Louis. You know what I'm saying? And Big Louis was about that life. Memphis, Big Jook, Yo Gotti's success came through Big Jook and Sean Gunn. I have to shout you out, Sean Gunn, because without those two combinations, Yo Gotti ain't nowhere. He's nowhere. The big brother, you know what I'm saying? I've heard some things about it, but I'm not gonna repeat on air. I've heard some things about Big Jook and Big Jook about that life. I'm gonna just say it like that. From about Big Jook, about Big Jook. So then that ain't no man you want to fuck with. I'm telling you, anybody from Memphis know about Big Jook, but he protected Gotti. He did the dirt he needed to do to get Gotti where he is. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, the oldest brother, and Jeffrey. Of course they had a good dad. That plays a factor. But it's important to have older siblings. Jeffrey Jordan is the reason why Michael Jordan became the greatest player of all time. He was getting his ass whipped by Jeffrey Jordan. He said in his book, I could not beat my brother. And granted, his brother can actually dunk, and he's shorter than him because there was a video out. He dunked at the basketball practice. Michael Jordan would not have been where he was if it hadn't been for Jeffrey and the oldest brother of the Jordan family. You know what I'm saying? Because he the one that told Michael Jordan to go try out for basketball because he didn't make the team, but he believed his younger brother could make the damn team. And at first he didn't make the team. But when he finally got that opportunity, he played every fucking game from that point on, barring injury, sickness, or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make you motherfuckers pay for not giving my brother Jeffrey Jordan the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it's to what I'm saying now. When dad is slacking, when dad is not there, it is important to have that oldest sibling. Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller is the reason why Reggie Miller got into basketball. And Cheryl Miller used to kick Reggie Miller's ass. She used to kick Reggie, and probably can still kick his ass in basketball with his no dribbling ass. and you could argue before the creation of the WNBA, Cheryl Miller was probably, if the greatest woman basketball player up to that point, because she scored 100 points in high school. And led USC to the national champion. Led USC to the national championship over Pat Summitt's Balls. So my point is, it's important to have that older brother. It's important for the foundation of success. From the oldest, what I'm saying, for the oldest sibling to hold it down, because usually your most successful kid is gonna be one or two kids, or a multitude of kids. The oldest sibling, Marvin Gaye, was the oldest child of Marvin Gaye family. He held it down, got his brother, put his brother on Motown, wrote a few songs for Marvin Gaye. He held the entire family down. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know what happened in the end, unfortunately for him. Yeah. But on April Fool's Day. Unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But Marvin Gaye held down the family. But usually your most successful kids in your family usually gonna be the oldest or the youngest, or the oldest son, or the oldest or the youngest son. Usually. Sometimes the older girl, like Janet bounced off of Michael Jackson, basically. Because Michael Jackson actually supposed to be the youngest child. The doctor told Catherine she wasn't supposed to have any more children after Michael, because she previously lost Marvin, who was a twin. A lot of people don't know Marvin was a twin, but the twin ended up dying before to get here. But Janet Jackson bounced off of Michael Jackson, who happened to be the most successful sibling. You know what I'm saying? So did Randy. Randy helped create a lot of Michael Jackson's songs, because he was a better instrumentalist than Michael Jackson. Of course, he had his issues, but you know what I'm saying? He helped out a lot. So it's important. It's that older brother, but usually it's going to be the oldest child, oldest son, or youngest son, or youngest child. Usually that's going to happen. Right. Steph Curry is the oldest child of the Dale Curry family. You know what I'm saying? And look at him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
and Dale Curry got all three of his sons in the NBA.
Exactly. So and Stephen Curry is the foundation of that particular clan. He was in the old Burger King commercial as I think he was 5 or 6 years old. The old Burger King commercial, because I haven't seen that shit in years. And I remember Dale Curry being in that commercial, and they brought it up to me some years ago, and I'm like, damn, that show. I remember that fucking commercial like yesterday. But Stephen Curry is holding down the Curry family, in spite of what dumbass Aisha. But I'm gonna get on that another time, because
that's another time about her ass. I don't even want to leave that alone.
Yeah, fuck her. Another time for that. But my point is, the oldest is very important. It's important to have a good older child. And I'm talking to parents out there. Speak life into that oldest child, because one thing about the oldest child, he's the oldest child, the oldest brother, he's not going to let that younger kid get too far out of hand. That's the thing. Because and sometimes you need your oldest to raise the youngest. You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking to a woman that drove my Uber. Her mom had like 8 kids, and her brother is one of the top players in the city of Houston in basketball. One of the top guys. I don't know his exact name, but she said his name, and I was like, damn, I know who that motherfucker is. But she holding the family down. She's bringing them, taking them to basketball practice and speaking life into that kid. You need that oldest sibling. It's important to have that oldest sibling. You need to speak life into the oldest child, your oldest child, whether it's a girl or boy. Sometimes that boy is gonna be more strict than the oldest, the oldest girl. But it's important to speak life into those older children, so the youngest can be successful, because you never know when that younger sibling is gonna need that oldest brother. MC Hammer, I doubt he would be as successful as he was at one time. He still got money. Let's not. I'm not gonna piss on that guy. He still got money. He still lives in a pretty decent neighborhood. But the foundation of his success was Big Lewis. Without Big Lewis, he wouldn't have been where he went. His brother out there hustling up in Oakland. Everybody know about Big Lewis, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the reason why that hit from MC Search happened, man. It wasn't. To me, it wasn't really Hammer that did that. It was Big Lewis letting them know, look, white boy, stay in your lane. That's basically, so it is what it is. So speak life into your older siblings, because even if your oldest is not the most successful, he can make the youngest the most successful. You got anything else before I get the hell on out of here?
Well, yeah, you kind of brung it up when we're going to be talking about that tomorrow in depth as I do the tribute to Craig Sr. His brother, my late uncle Wesley, because he has an older sister right now that's in nursing care because she was battling a lot of epilepsy, man. And at the time as I'm speaking this, man, she had a lot of mixed medication that kind of fucked her up a little bit, but from what I hear, she's back on track. So she talking shit like us. Mm-hmm. So so I think she's how old is Brenda? I think she just turned 71 this year, I believe. No, she's 70. And no, well, no, wait. She's 71. I take it back. Yeah, she's 70. Yeah, she turned 71 this year. And my Uncle Wesley would have been 69 in August. He would have been 69 this year in August. But he, and that's why I said, Jimmy, make sure you get your stuff together, because we don't want that last little repeat like what happened with that Facebook Live thing. My pops talked about his brother. Said his brother was cool, and I remember like last time I seen him, man, I was like 5 going on 6. And I kind of remember a little bit, man. His brother was starting to change his life around, all his years hustling, he made some extra bank on the side doing numbers. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Chicago.
Well, before yeah, he was yeah, he was, because everybody that lived over there on 63rd and Adams knew what in that section knew what Wesley was doing, knew what my Uncle Wes did, and he kept that on low. And said that was his extra bread. But he stopped because he married him a woman and stuff like that. And I found out from my mom that I wasn't the first grandchild.
Yeah.
He had a daughter by the name of Lindsay who died of crib death. So Lindsay probably would have been either 48 or 49 this year. And she died of crib death, and then not too soon after her baby mama had passed away. Her baby mama, from what they said, baby mama got killed. His baby mama messed around and got killed. But I remember I asked my pops about it, and it was about some things about my uncle, his brother. He said he was cool. He said, but at times he said his older brother was jealous of him. Cause little brother, with Pops being the little brother, he had accomplished more than Big Brother did. But on the other hand, Big Brother had to get him in line a couple times about him being a responsible man. He can't be, like he was telling me, he said, look, man, you can't be out in the street doing this shit and doing that shit. Because there was this legendary story, man. One time he didn't come home. Pops didn't come home from a payday. So Wesley had to go personally find this man. And he said he had an idea where he was at. And let's just say they almost got to fighting Wesley put his ass in the car, took him on home, and brought him back to where he was at. Brought him back home.
Yeah.
And told me, and he said, and he told me, he said, I was about going on 2 years old at that time. And Wes told him, man, look, you know, hey, you need to straighten the fuck up. You know, and Pops told me that. He said, you know, he had said that, hey, you know, yeah, I know I fucked up a lot of things. He said, you know, anytime, and Wesley told me, if I'm finna make a change for the better for myself by leaving these damn streets alone, what's up with you?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, and Pops did for a while, and out there and like I said, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. When his brother got killed, and his murderers, if they are alive, I pray for them, and if they're not alive, you know, rest their soul.
Sorry to hear.
You know, yeah, he was killed in the fire, because
Okay.
that story behind that was kind of that story behind that didn't make a lot of sense, because they said something about you know, they made it like he was smoking a cigarette before he went to bed. You know, he was smoking a cigarette while he was in bed, and we all knew that man before he went to bed, he would smoke a cigarette 2 hours before he would go to bed.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
He smoked one when he got up. He smoked one at lunch. Or if he didn't smoke one on neither one of the times, he made it up before he went to bed. And he wasn't no chain smoker. He was just one of them respectable ass smokers, though. But you know, I think, you know, it really, I kind of credit my uncle for kind of getting me started with my drawing and shit, because learning from him. Because I think I think if he had put his mind to it, he would have been a damn good art teacher.
Okay.
But one thing I can't say about Pops and his brother, man, they kept a job. They kept a job, but Wesley kept a respectable side hustle.
Same with my brother. Same with my brother.
What? Yeah, Wesley kept respectful side hustle. And that was the numbers. So he didn't you know, like I said, he didn't do a lot, you know, he didn't do any fuck shit, no illegal act, nothing illegal, no criminal activity, none of that bullshit, whatever. Hey, he did what he did. And you know, that was that on that.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I said I'm gonna talk more about it tomorrow. So, because it's a lot of things, in there. And there were me being the only child, man. I mean, because there were times, man, because man, it's a lot of stuff I gotta tell about how my pops was, man, and you know, during his final days. So,
Yeah.
man,
Definitely.
because you know, at the funeral, man, because like I never told nobody this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it, because like at the funeral when I spoke, I still had some resentment toward him on a lot of things, you know, and there was a lot of people that I had resented, you know, I still have resentment towards to this day, because they didn't, you know, hey, I felt that they really were, because you know, it takes one spark, you know, the old saying, it takes one small spark to start a huge fire. Okay. I really believe that, and in my opinion, this is me. Now, and this is a known fact, and I have stated that, you know, I fought them for further ruining my father and I's relationship.
I can see that. I can definitely see
And you
that
know,
based on.
and you know, based on things I was saying, and then mainly when I talked about on the Facebook Live about how I was working with his work group, you know, I fought some of them. I fought at them, you know, and most of them, you know, not with the previous work group, but that last work group he had over international before he went over there to EWR Secondary 22. Now they were good to his ass. They really were, bro. And that was his. And they all really was, man, because because I found out some things from them, when he said that he had nothing but good, Pops had nothing but good things to say about me. I was like, oh, okay. And it had me wondering, like, you tell them, but you don't tell, but in my face, it's a different story, But we'll talk about it more in depth tomorrow on that. So if everybody listen, get ready for that. Because I talk about things like I share the details of the horror stories he told me about fighting when at the time he was sent to fight the white man's war. And I'm pretty sure y'all know what that war is.
Oh yeah.
Story about how the story about how he met my moms and stuff like that. Then I also gonna tell some funny little stories, like the time he took down the time he put a hit out on the security guard. I'm gonna tell that story. Now I ain't talking about like a drive-by, nothing like that. I'm gonna tell that story. Then it's just gonna be some funny stories. Then it's also gonna be some little lessons in as like all fathers, and there's gonna be I'm gonna retell some stories of I'm gonna tell some funny stories. I'm gonna retell some stories of sheer fuckery that he done as well too. It's more of a dudes. It is really more of the don'ts for the fathers. Don't do this to your in-laws or let alone with your children, how you treat them. But other than that, I don't have nothing. Jimmy, I'm pretty sure you got something.
Actually, yes. I actually got one more thing. Let me go to the chat group. It is reported, according to 12up.com, that Kyrie Irving is talking about going to the goddamn Lakers.
Fuck him.
He needs to stay in Boston, nigga.
He needs to stay in Boston.
Stay in Boston because you got a better chance to win a championship there than you would at the Lakers, because the Lakers.
I'd rather see Kemba Walker go to the Lakers.
Now that'll work. That'll work. Now I'm gonna tell you, and I think Kemba Walker would work out in Houston. I'll say that.
Hell yeah,
that would work out.
James Harden and Kemba. But see, you never hear a bad thing about Kemba. He's not on the injured list. He doesn't choke on big games, and the boy got a clutch jump, man. And the boy clutch. And he's a little bit better than Chris Paul.
He's a natural point guard.
Way better than Chris Paul.
He's a natural point guard. He's a lot more aggressive in terms of taking no to take over. Because Chris Paul is an assist guy. You know what I'm saying? He scores, but he's at the end. So, I mean, this is not to piss on Chris Paul, but Chris Paul did not play his best in the last series. And like I said, if Chris Paul don't get 10 assists in this series, they're going to lose. If Capella don't score in double figures perpetually, they're going to lose. And that's what exactly happened. But Kyrie, stay your ass in Boston. You got a better chance to compete with – they're going to compete with the Bucks. I think the thing with Boston is Boston need to shuffle around some people. I think Warford at the end, so you might need to get rid of him. Unfortunately, you need to make a move at some point. They might need to shuffle him and shuffle Morris. Other than that, they're pretty much straight the way they are. They got the right coach in Brad Stevens. I would work with Brad Stevens. One thing I like about it. I like a guy who does not have to get pissed off, because when you're pissed off, you don't think when you speak, and that makes a good coach. Actually, when you like Tony Dungy, reason why Tony Dungy was a Hall of Fame coach is because he did not have to get angry at all. They knew when he was angry, but he never showed his emotions. You know what I'm saying? He used his strategy, he used that cover 2, and he came up with perfect game plans. And by the way, Brad Stevens went to Tony Dungy's seminars, and he learned how to control his emotions through Tony Dungy, who Tony Dungy learned from Chuck Noll, because Chuck Noll was an unemotional guy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Brad Stevens a good coach. He knows how to get the best out of his players. He tells his players, even if they fucking up, hey, I love y'all, but y'all need to go out here and beat these guys, man. Y'all can beat these guys. And he's a young dude too. So Boston need to keep Brad Stevens. He might have a fuck up season here and there, but they need to keep him. If Danny Ainge, I think he's the head of basketball operations and GM.
And general manager and the president of basketball operations. Danny made some good moves now. I give it to him.
Oh yeah. He makes some good moves because he told Doc Rivers, hey, be patient with me. I'm not saying we're gonna be a dynasty, but we're gonna get a championship once I make these moves. And he did.
And first year they went to the championship.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And won it.
So yeah, Danny.
I mean, and Danny Ainge is a riverboat gambler, man, and I give it to him. I mean, yeah, and it's a stressful job because anytime you have 2 heart attacks in 6 years, I mean, and Danny been putting on a lot of damn weight too, and he kind of got to slow down his ego. When he first had the job, that man was about as big as me.
Yeah, and not just that. Mm-hmm.
And now, and the man, why did not, as Chris Tucker said about that girl wilding on outside,
And not just that with Danny Ainge. Danny learned a lot of general management strategies from the late Red Auerbach. Because he was an apprentice, like after he left his NBA career and after he ended his NBA career and got into coaching a little bit, when he wasn't working, he became an apprentice under Red Auerbach, and Red Auerbach taught him everything he knows in terms of management, which is why they're competing year in and year out. You know what I'm saying? Because of a lot of the shuffle moves as well as the coaching of Brad Stevens. So I think,
and a lot of people sleep on that too. Danny was one hell of a coach, man. When he coached the Phoenix Suns, oh man. He didn't, and then he didn't get no, because I think he coached a team that had Jason Kidd and Penny Hardaway on there. Am I correct? Might want to look that up.
The one that beat San Antonio in 4 games. 4 games, yeah, yep.
Man, and Dan. One thing about Danny, when he talked to me, he was polite about it, and he gave no fucks. he gave no fucks. He told what was on the mind, because, and then I think they said, like, with a little bit on social issues too, mainly with children, he took that to heart, man, because hell, he got 2 grown sons now, grown son and a daughter, one, Austin, and I forgot who the other one is, but shit, Danny gave no fucks when it came to me. You asked him a stupid ass question, he put you in check real quick. But he calmed down a little bit now. But hey, he gonna have to he gonna have to slow his roll, man, because with heart attacks and stuff like that, ain't at his age and his size ain't no good. I understand that's a stressful job what he doing now.
Yeah, because you got the Boston Red Sox winning, then you got the Patriots winning, and then the Bruins have a tradition of winning. So when you're in Boston and the mecca of the championships in Boston, fans, everybody knows how crazy them damn Boston fans is. If you the opposing team, you get called every kind of racial slur. You get called some shit over there in Boston. If you're not a Boston Celtic fan, it ain't no prison. I don't think I would ever go to a Boston Celtic game at home. I'd probably meet them on the road, because them fans is crazy. They say some crazy, they say up shit. So that came with the job, bro. And I'm not saying people should do shit like that. I'm totally opposed to that. But that's a motherfucker. That's a motherfucker's job, But he's up to the challenge because he already brought him a championship, and I believe at some point he's going to bring them another championship. But Kyrie, I don't think you need to get back with LeBron again. I mean, you need to go.
If I was Danny, but if the whole Danny Ainge need to come out, Now's the time.
Yeah, and I mean,
And especially to get on Kyrie.
And you know what? And if I'm Danny Ainge, speaking of Boston, I would try to go after Kemba Walker or somebody's young,
Hell yeah.
young guy. Because I can see that some move happening. If Kyrie, I think he's waiting on Kyrie to fuck up and leave so he can get somebody better that could possibly have him competing in the championship. Because
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Kemba most suited for it than anybody.
Yeah. He's suited for Houston or Boston. I think he can go either way. Because I mean he's that dude, and people have been sleeping on him and shit like that. So, and all they got to do is pick up the contract that Michael Jordan gave, that big contract Michael Jordan gave him, and they straight. They ain't got nothing about shit. So.
And Michael Jordan shit, and really, I don't know what to say about his franchise. Speaking of which, but I don't know if that man ain't trying. Hey, if he ain't trying to prove his own franchise. I mean, yeah, they did have some good seasons like them when they got in the playoffs. I mean, because they gave Miami a run for their money, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to think about it. David Stern gave him that team because of what he did in terms of revenue in the 90s. Because David Stern specifically said that before I leave as commissioner, Michael Jordan will have a NBA franchise. He said that. So, and he made sure of that before he left. He got an NBA franchise, and Bob Johnson was losing money from the franchise. And he was like, man, if you want to buy this team, here's the opportunity. I'm letting it go because.
And I still say Bob Johnson had no business buying an NBA team. He should have stayed at BET.
Well, Viacom gave him that billions of dollars, and then from what I understand, they had a clause to where he could not, a non-compete clause when they gave him the billions of dollars, from what I understand. And this is from my understanding. I can't prove it. Marcus Johnson in the chat room, if he's still in the chat room, he could probably refer me to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Bob, from what I understand, they had a non-compete clause, and he couldn't own a TV station or a television thing for an amount of years. So, and that's where he was good at. He was good at BET because BET was the shit before Viacom took over. Now you see
the white folks.
You see a whole bunch of moist shit with BET
reality shows. I don't mind that Martin and shit like that. I don't mind. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I want to rekindle the last of Martin. Growing up, watching Martin back from when he came out in 92, from 9th grade on to about the time I was out of school. Martin was part of my childhood. Matter of fact, Martin and Living Single, New York Uncover on Thursdays, and then on Fridays, Family Matters. And then let's not forget In the House and everything else. And Moesha and all them. That was part of my childhood, part of high school.
Oh, yeah, man. And,
so,
and also Bob Johnson had to pay out a similar divorce settlement that the guy from Amazon would have paid out had she really got what she wanted, because he had to split the $4 billion that he obtained once he sold Viacom and shit like that. So, yeah, I mean, and he shouldn't have never left Sheila Johnson. I'm gonna tell you that, because she actually helped him in that.
Yeah, he was sleeping on that one.
Yeah,
he got big headed, big head.
I'm like, dude, why the fuck you gonna throw away 33 fucking years of, I mean, come on, dude. But but with Bob Johnson, he I don't think he should have ever got rid of BET, because that was gonna be $1 billion enterprise either way. Because had he kept it long enough, because BET was coming into his prime, and then he sold it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to Bob Johnson. But Bob Johnson basically gave him the hookup on that franchise for what he paid for, because he got the NBA franchise for $300 million, and he sold it to Jordan for $250. So
hell yeah,
with
Jordan basically is a billionaire.
Yeah, and he's gonna get more billions in the next 5 years because of the Nike contract. You get more and more residuals, so it's coming. Do you got anything else before I get the hell on out of here? We had a long ass show up in this motherfucker.
Yes, sir, brother. Nothing, man. Just like I said, just kind of get your questions ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I'll be ready. Let me share some funny stories. You know, some gonna be funny, some parts gonna be sad, and some parts be happy, and then some parts of it will make you mad. About as I do the dedication to Craig L. Smith Sr. You know, this coming Tuesday, he would have been 67 this year. And hey, if he had been alive, he probably gave insight on himself or whatever. And that probably been a cool show if he had been alive. I would have had him on, you know, because like I said, we're gonna cover stuff like, from what he was telling me about what was it like being in the white man's war at the young age of 18 and shit like that. And a whole bunch of other stuff, man. He's got a lot of them from everything what I can gather. So, and then like I'm gonna find my little manuscript I wrote for my book and details a few things too. So other than that, hey, I ain't got nothing. I'm about to turn it in myself. I'm about to kind of turn it in myself because clean it up and I'm gonna turn it in myself anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a replay of that fight because I was glancing in on it, and like I say, I saw J Rock winning, he won, but I want to see it from all out angle because I gotta flip through different pages and shit like that when I'm on air, and then I gotta make sure my sound is live and direct in full effect, So I'm gonna watch the replay again. So it is what it is, man. If you ain't got nothing, I show as hell ain't got nothing. So it's once again, this your boy, live and direct, and absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how we do. Shout out to my brother Marcus Johnson in the chat room. Shout out to everybody that's watching. I know you're watching. I know who you are. So with that, good night. Don't drink and drive, and don't be fucking too many hoes, man. So it is what it is.
Peace out, and the pleasure's been all yours. And stay your ass off the phone, looking at the phone while you behind the wheel.